and this is Killer Kyle, and welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury.
Yeah.
And another look back at Royal Rumble series. We talked about Royal Rumble 1988.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go a few years later.
Yes.
Royal Rumble 1995.
Yeah, this is when the Royal Rumble was 30 men, and of course the winner would go to WrestleMania, #1 contender for the champion. And this was a really good show.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing that really resonates. You look at Royal Rumble 1988, the very first Royal Rumble, and you're like, alright, that's cool.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in the future. Well, Royal Rumble over the years was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
30 men. You have like 2 or 3 matches before the event, and very rarely do you have a match after the Royal Rumble.
Right.
But this was a good show, and I mean, Kyle's right. We'll see when it happens how tough a lot of these competitors are.
Yeah.
So we have the dark match pre-show. Buck.
Quartermaid?
Yeah, I have no idea. Versus the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming that was a good match.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Brawler did a lot of really good matches. Steve Lombardi is... Well, you know what? He's not an underrated wrestler. I mean, he was more or less an extra. Like, he was the baseball...
Like, he
Yeah.
did the brawler stick for a while. He's mainly the guy that, like, got his ass kicked all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever won a match against anybody he faced.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for a short period of time he portrayed Abe Knuckleball Schwartz.
Yes.
And that only lasted a little while.
I believe it was Kim Chi.
I think so.
And then, of course, he was one of the Doinks.
Yes.
But he did lose this match. So,
Yeah.
a guy that really, I don't know, and like I said, the last video we did, I don't know if he would have been a believable champion.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not WWF champion, but like, Intercontinental champion. So,
Maybe.
yeah. Then we begin the Royal Rumble itself. The Intercontinental Championship, Double J Jeff Jarrett versus Razor Ramon.
Close enough. The bad guy, yeah. It was actually a really good match. You had Jeff working over Razor's knee for pretty much the whole match.
Yeah.
They were, going back and forth. It ultimately ended up being Razor was picked up Jeff for the Razor's Edge and his knee gave out, and Jeff gave him a small package and pinned him.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I mean, could that have gone to Razor? Sure, but I think Jeff was a very good heel.
Yeah.
Still is a very good heel. And I know that a lot of people don't like him, but, you know, it is what it is. And I think with, Brian James in his corner, it just seems like it made his character much more better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who knows where that character would have went had they not paired him with the roadie. Of
Yeah.
course, there was also a short stint with Double J and Tennessee Lee.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah. The roadie essentially is what made that character work.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, too. I mean, that's a guy who basically took chicken shit and made chicken salad.
Basically.
You know, Brian did a stint in WCW with his dad and brother.
Yes.
He was in the Army before that. And, you know, going into that role as the roadie, later being a part of the New Age Outlaws, and
Yes.
how that got started was awesome.
Yep.
And I do remember that. And then, you know, being an agent in WWE. Now, whether he's there, because he did get let go, but I'm not sure if he's back.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But multiple championships also in WWE, except for the WWF champion or WWE
Yeah.
championship. So, yeah.
And then we go on to The Undertaker versus IRS, Erwin R. Shyster.
Yeah. You know, there's a guy that would have been probably a very good singles wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, Mike Rotunda was one of those, you know, known as the take team guy.
Essentially, yeah.
You know, Barry Windham, Ted DiBiase. I mean, he had a pretty good career in WCW.
Yes.
Although Wall Street was like, okay.
Yeah. That was an unusual persona. Then, of course, it was the, as I've mentioned quite a few times, his run early on in WCW with Rex Steiner and Kevin Sullivan and Dr. Death Steve Williams as the Varsity Club.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, again, one of the guys that should be in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
but for some reason isn't.
I know.
You know. But I mean, yeah. His kids live on with his legacy or whatever.
Yes.
So,
Well, Mike's not dead.
that's not what I meant.
His kids are carrying on the legacy.
Yes. Yes. Words came out trying to distract The Undertaker. And that didn't work. I think King Kong Bundy interfered
Yeah.
at some point, which would lead up to their match at WrestleMania.
Right.
And then, yeah, Undertaker did go over, not with a tombstone.
With a chokeslam.
Yeah, he did do a tombstone, but
Well, he attempted a tombstone on the RS. Then the Druids got up in the apron.
right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, again, one of the guys that should be in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
but for some reason isn't.
I know.
You know. But I mean, yeah. His kids live on with his legacy or whatever.
Yes.
So,
Well, Mike's not dead.
that's not what I meant.
His kids are carrying on the legacy.
Yes. Yes. Words came out trying to distract The Undertaker. And that didn't work. I think King Kong Bundy interfered
Yeah.
at some point, which would lead up to their match at WrestleMania.
Right.
And then, yeah, Undertaker did go over, not with a tombstone.
With a chokeslam.
Yeah, he did do a tombstone, but
Well, he attempted a tombstone on the RS. Then the Druids got up in the apron. He kicked both down. He kind of missed one.
yeah,
Then, Rotunda, like, kind of dropped IRS. IRS got up, clotheslined him. And then they fought on a little more. And then Undertaker gave him a chokeslam and pin. It was like, huh.
yeah,
Not very often you see Undertaker win with a chokeslam. Usually the chokeslam was the setup to the tombstone.
yeah. Now this is interesting. You have the WWE Championship on second last. So you have Diesel versus Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yes.
This was a very good match.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, you have Brett working on Diesel's leg to get the sharpshooter on. At one point, the crowd did kind of boo Brett.
Yeah.
It was one of those times where I don't think there was a cosmic shift in his face heel run, like
Right.
turn, whatever. But it seemed like it because, yeah, that's kind of how it worked in a Rumble. We'll get to that in a minute. But, yeah, so this was a very good match. Obviously, I thought that, you know, Brett could have won, but at the same time, we couldn't fucking have that. Because who should come out? Shawn Michaels, Bob Backlund, and Owen Hart. It's just like, really?
I know.
You had a really good match. What the hell? Been both very good competitors. I mean, look. Kevin Nash and Bret Hart had a lot of good matches.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't know if they had any matches in WCW, but they definitely had a lot of good matches in WWE. And I know that Kevin was hot because Bret could have did business in one of Kevin's last matches in WWF. He didn't want to do the job, so Kevin was like, fuck it, I'm going to WCW.
Yeah.
You know? And yes, Kevin was in WCW the first time. It was gimmick characters, whatever, you know, but the NWO really kind of gave a new relevance to him. Like, gave, you know, a new legendary wrestling stable and everything else. Scott Hall and Hogan and all those other guys would eventually follow, so.
Yeah.
Now we have a tag team match. We have 1, 2, 3 Kid, Bob Holly versus Heel Tatanka and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, this is for the vacated WWF Tag Team titles at the time. And, yeah, unlikely duo of 1, 2, 3 Kid and Bob Holly, old Sparky Plug,
Yeah.
and Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka, of course, being a part of the $1 Million Corporation.
Yeah.
Really good match.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for what it was, I just... Obviously, back then, I didn't sell Tatanka as a heel. Now, at 38 years old, I still don't buy him as a fucking heel. But the $1 Million Corporation was fine.
Oh, yeah.
You know. You still had IRS and Ted DiBiase, King Kong Bundy, Nikolai Volkov, I believe, was in there. You know, Tatanka, that shit, so. And, I mean, you want to talk about a guy who, I don't know what his body's like now. I mean, I know that Sean Waltman is, like, wrestling again.
Yeah.
I don't think his body is that good anymore. I mean, this guy obviously was the Lightning Kid. He was just in the independents, coming to WWF, being the 1, 2, 3 Kid after surprisingly beating Razor Ramon.
Yes.
Having a lengthy career. And, you know, that's just who he was. Then going to WCW. You have Six-Pac. Going to WWE, X-Pac. It's like, the guy was also, yeah, he had a lot of drug issues and later, you know, especially in his TNA days, but a lot of them did. You know, he was that good. I don't know if, like, I'll have to watch his recent matches, because he did show up, I think it was GCW, I'm not quite sure.
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah, he was that good. And he worked really well with Bob Holly.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah. Now, I'm not sure how long Bob and Kid held the tag titles for, and I don't even remember who they dropped them to.
oh well.
I'm not even trying to think of why the titles got vacated in the first place.
Yeah.
I think it was whoever was holding the titles at the time. One of them got injured and they vacant of the titles, but who that was, I couldn't fucking tell you.
Yeah.
So let me go to the Rumble match itself. And, wow. You talk about a who's who, or wrestlers, you know. Talk about the first Royal Rumble in '88, and, you know, having guys like Duggan and Hitman and Jim Neidhart and
Jumpin' Jim Brunzell.
And several others.
Yeah.
This one just started out with Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog.
Yes.
And then you had Jacob and Eli Blue, you had
Dick Murdoch.
You had Duke the Dumpster Drozy,
Queen.
yeah,
The Head Shrinkers.
yeah, Bob Backlund.
Yeah. You were gonna have Owen Hart until Brett came and beat the shit out of him.
Ben came and beat the shit out of him. Then also Brett came and beat the shit out of Backlund too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Crush, Atom Bomb,
Yep, Atom Bomb, yes. You know.
Lex Luger, so many more.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, that was a very good Rumble. Now, at the time, you look at the Head Shrinkers, and they come on with Alpha in 1993.
Right.
And, you know, afterwards, you have Alpha break off with the Head Shrinkers. Little Bano was their manager, and they became face.
Right.
Which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, they both were there. You know, you have, plenty more. But it was kind of cool because you have Shawn Michaels and Davey Boy Smith begin the match, and they finish the match.
Yep.
Last all the way through, and they were the last two. Now, it was, you know, a little frustrating because, you know, I mean, obviously we all know what happened, but Bulldog throws out Shawn, and we don't see it at first, but Shawn only had 1 foot on the floor.
Yeah. Shawn goes over the top rope, he's hanging onto the top rope, and his legs are swinging, and 1 foot touches,
Yeah.
but not both of them, and then he pulls himself up on the apron and gets back in the ring. Of course, Bulldog music is playing.
Yeah.
He's in the corner celebrating. Michaels hits him from behind. He falls over the top rope to the floor. They're like, "Wait, what the this happened? Bulldog won." And they're like, no. Only one of Shawn's feet hit the floor. So your winner of the 1995 Royal Rumble is Shawn Michaels. Like, oh, okay then.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it would have been nice to see the British Bulldog versus Diesel at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. And, you know, how apropos that Shawn wins at the Royal Rumble because they were in Texas.
Yeah.
So, it was a good show, like Kyle said. And I think that besides the screwy finish with Diesel and Brett, I think, it was very cool. And unfortunately, at that time, I was a casual fan. So I only knew what was going on in the magazines. And I would catch it here and there. I remember Quang for some reason.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, he did start in 94, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, 95, 97 are kind of blurry, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and we all know that Shawn won the next year. So, yeah, very cool.
On a side note, the Shrinkers were fought too, and I can't remember. It was the Barbarian.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I forgot about that. Yeah, see, this is why didn't pay much attention in '95. So this was Royal Rumble 1995.
Yeah.
Very good show, and the next time we do look back at your series Royal Rumble special, I guess, we're going to do 2002. And I believe it'll be a double episode, so we'll do 2002 and 2021.
Okay.
So, in the meantime, I'm not sure what's going on next week.
I don't think there's anything going on next week. Because the Rumble isn't until the 27th,
Oh,
I believe.
so I guess we'll be doing that next week. So, anyhow, for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle,
Yeah.
and we will be with my baby tonight.
Yeah.
Deuces.